who all will be these three top batsmen who can hit good deliveries? I mean, according to you, you good deliveries means it only comes out from a good bowler like Rashid Khan. So he would actually give a very good perspective on those three top batsmen who would hit good deliveries. I mean, we have this culture. I mean, obviously, batsman is waiting for.
I think it's two different batsmen. There is one batsman who hit you a good delivery into the gaps, and he tries to get that boundary. He tries to get the 2-3 from there on. And there are some batsmen who hit you a good delivery just for six. Like they just hit it. They just hit it. They are very powerful.
Yeah.
But,
can you name some of them?
Definitely, like a kind of batsman like Virat. You take an example of Virat. Take an example of AB, Kane Williamson. These three are the kind of batsmen like they won't hit you harder. If you bowl good to them, they will still hit it for double, for single, for a boundary. And someone like Hardik Pandya, Chris Gayle, Russell, I think they're the kind of batsmen like if you bowl to them there, they're gonna smash it harder and they're gonna hit it for six. So yeah, these are the kind of batsmen you see when you are bowling.
Yeah. I introduced you as world's leading spinner, which you are, in my opinion. I mean, it's not your fault or anyone's fault that you're not playing Test cricket regularly. Because if you're playing Test cricket also and ODI cricket regularly, you'll still be on top. This kind of discipline you carry at such a young age. We talked about it. But according to Rashid Khan, who are the top three best spinners in the world? Yes, see. Current and former also. I mean, doesn't matter. Your best spinners. Three top
best spinners.
Yes.
It's pretty hard to pick three because there's so many good spinners, all around the world, and especially from the last few years. From the last few years, I think we have seen lots of good spinners coming. I think Chahal, he's someone who did really well from the last 3-4 years for RCB. He has been the most consistent performer. You see Sunil Narayan, how good he mystery spinner. Mujibur Rahman is there, someone like, especially bowling in the power play, which is very hard as a spinner to bowl in the power play, but still he steps up and bowl in the power play. And a couple of more leg spinners, who have been improved a lot. I have seen them from the last 2-3 years is Ash Sodhi from New Zealand and Adam Zampa. These two have done so well, and I love watching leg spinners bowling and doing well. And also one leg spinner, Shadab, from Pakistan, he has been a very good leg spinner. And so many leg spinners. It's pretty hard to pick them in order, but I think these spinners are like pretty much good. In I love watching their bowling, and as a spinner, there's always something for you to learn from it.
I'm a huge fan of Imran Tahir also.
Yes,
the way
Imran Tahir. I totally forgot Imran Tahir. He's the head of us. Like he's like a kind of bowler. I really apologize. I missed his name, but
no.
Actually, the kind of energy he brings to the game with this age and the way he performed all around the world, I think he's the best example for all of us. Like, whenever I meet him, I always tell him, like, you are a kind of example for us. Like, as a youngster, we learn a lot from you, because it shows like how much you love this game, and that is the reason behind his success as well, because he want to play and he loved this game. It's not about different reason for it. He just loved this game. He want to entertain his fans, and he want to do well for the team. He want to celebrate, and that is something which gives us energy as well. So I will keep it at the top, Imran Tahir.
And another legend, I'm a huge fan also. He's also a leg spinner, former spin wizard from Australia, Shane Warne. When IPL happened in 2008, I remember people talked that how T20 is only going to be fast bowlers who are going to rule the roost. But Shane Warne was the only guy who said, no, spinners will have a say. And he was right.
Absolutely. even a few years back, this was totally spinners were totally ignored. Like, some people say it's not the kind of game for the spinners, which is very hard for them. But I think it's all about the skills you bring in the game. It makes it hard for the batsman, and definitely, Shane Warne, Muralitharan, Saeed Ajmal, Shahid Afridi. I think they were kind of bowlers, like, they could have performed at any format. They were the kind of bowlers who can perform at any format, either T20, ODI, at Test cricket. Because as long you have the skills, you make the batsman in trouble. Doesn't matter either you bowl spin, fast, whatever it is. It's something which is effective. So nowadays, I think it's more demanding. Like, spinners are more demanded everywhere around the world than a fast bowler. So it shows, like, how much they have improved, and how much skills every bowler have got. Like, as a youngster, when someone is bowling, he learned the things very quickly, the flipper, the leggy, the wrong one, and with the time he just keeps it improve, and then he becomes the best bowler. So I think that is something which is a kind of mindset nowadays bowlers have, and it's pretty good to see lots of spinners coming, and they're just doing well for the teams.
And it's so exciting when you see a young talent who has a landing problem. He's bowling a googly or a leg spin. And little later, when you go after 1 year or so, that guy is so accurate and it feels so nice. Isn't it? It happens so much in across the world when you start off like that in a raw fashion, and the way you develop. And that's why they are called magicians. They're match winners. Leg spinners are match winners in simple words.
Absolutely. I think it all comes from the kind of, like, uh, watching their idols on the TV, and the technology makes for them very clear as well. It's a kind of free kind of coaching for them as well. As a youngster, you're watching on TV, leg spinner is bowling, commentators commenting on him, and they are analyzing their game and stuff. As a youngster, you're watching that on TV, you learn from it, and that is something which is which is very good for the youngster. And it's so good, like, a bowler who is very new in this position. He's wanna bowl leggy. And after a couple of years, it happened, like, I see them again. They have been much improved. They work hard, especially with their grip and with their release and with their run up and with their landing. I think it's quite happy and quite good to see, like, such kind of improvement in everyone.
Who do you follow? I mean, do you have a coach if something goes wrong, or do you just go back to your videos, coach yourself, and then come back on the field next day strong? I mean, do you talk to any particular spinner or a childhood coach you're in touch with? How does it work with you?
I never been coached since I was playing in under 19 in Afghanistan A team. I wasn't been given that kind of coaching, that how to grip the ball, your run up, everything. But I always, like, whoever I play for the team, I always have that kind of discussion with the head coach, with the bowling coach, and with the experienced player. Something is going wrong, but the thing is, like, mostly I study myself. I watch my videos and see, like, what are the things I have done wrong, what are the things I need to do right to be a better for tomorrow. And that's how I do. I make it simple for myself, not to put so many things in the mind that, okay, what happened, why, because my bowling get down, my energy, what if so many things comes in your mind, I think it makes you so disturbed, and it's pretty hard to focus on your own game. But I always just come back to my room, see my videos, study myself, and then, like, the things I did wrong, just trying my best not to repeat them, and have a clear mind, just go there and enjoy the game.
Absolutely. And they, when you say that and enjoy the game, they love. I mean, and they love you. I mean, when you're in action, and you have a huge fan following, as I said earlier. Do you love playing in India? I mean, in front of the Indian crowds, they love you. I mean, it doesn't matter which franchise you're playing for. If you're playing at Kotla, if you delivered a good spell, you're coming back to your field position, they all clap, give you standing ovation. This is a great thing which IPL has started. There's actually no loyalty towards a particular team. They are loyal to their players.
Absolutely, absolutely. There is no doubt. I've been given so much love and support wherever I played. It's not just about like playing in Hyderabad. Definitely, so that's our home ground. We get the support, but I think been everywhere in the kind of support we got. Even like when I was not playing in IPL, Afghanistan team was playing in Greater Noida. We were playing in Dehradun. We were playing in Lucknow. I think in all the stadiums, the kind of love I got from the fans, the support I got from them was unbelievable, and that made me like that someone that very special. That the kind of support you get here, and it gives you lots of motivation, lots of energy inside the field when you get the kind of support, and I'm think I'm so lucky and proud and blessed to be someone to be playing and giving them some good performances in their love, which is something gives me lots of strength and energy.
Absolutely, we love you really. But
Thank you.
coming to T20 bowling, we've spoken about at length about everything. I just want to know, how do you manage success? Because you're most of the days you come back to your dressing room quite successful. So it's not easy day in and day out going and doing the same job and doing it so well. So what's the mantra? Is it like you just do it and forget about it, as you said, clear your mind. You've done something, control shift delete, next day, next game. So
I think that's a better way of
yeah,
how you.
also right. We can't just store so many things. We get carried away. We get a lot of things happen, a lot of passions, a lot of desire goes inside. So how do you manage that success when it comes
I think,
doorstep?
as I said before, like keep it simple, and keep it clear for myself. The thing is like either I get the success and I get a failure. Always trying my best to be in the same position, in the same shouldn't be someone who is so much surprised and so much happy and celebrating a lot my success, and when it comes to failure I get myself down, and I think it affects you mentally a lot. If I get a success, definitely you have that kind of limits that you go there and celebrate it, but you know I never had that kind of long celebration for my success, which is something which affects your mind when you get the failure, and it's pretty hard. Yeah, on a day when I perform, I do celebrate with the team, but as soon I come back to my room, I just take everything out of my mind and just focus on the next day what I'm doing, the next thing, the next activity what I'm doing. Forget about the next game as well, and just focus on the next day, what are my activities gonna be done and what are the things I have got to do. Focus on those things rather than just keep celebrating, and the next day when you get the failure, I think the routine just changes because you want to celebrate and you get the failure, it just changes. I think it's better just when you get the failure, yeah, that day you just think about what I have done wrong, and next day just focus on those things what you're going to do. Either that's you want to do some social activities, some media activities, whatever you want to do, just focus on that rather than what I've done here last night. You focus on that. So that's the kind of mindset I have, and that makes my job easier as well. Failures, success, that day gone, history, that has been written in the book. Forget about that. Just think about future. What's the next for you?
Absolutely. And there's also a school of thought which believes it's tough to read Rashid Khan's googly because in white ball the seam is not that pronounced. So you actually, and with the same sort of action, the ball, it's actually tough. You can't see the pitch up and play because it's so fast. It just comes. You have to understand what is coming out of Rashid Khan's hand also, which a lot of people struggle. And they also struggle because the revolution they can't see of the ball. So do you think the seam has anything to do with white ball, and that's why you get so many wickets in white ball cricket?
I think so because the reason behind is some spinners, they bowl with the seam when they're bowling the leg spin, and when they bowl in the wrong one, it just comes with an across the seam, and you understand like which one is the wrong one, which one is the leggy. But the thing is, I bowl both with the cross seam. Like I bowl leggy with the cross seam, I bowl wrong one with the cross seam. So as a batsman, you get that thing out of your mind that okay, there is nothing like between seam and cross the seam. He bowls both with the cross the seam. either leggy or wrong one. And the thing is, like with my action and with my run up and everything, I cannot bowl with the seam because that needs to be used. You have to use your wrist, and I'm not using my wrist.
Dangerous you are, really. I mean, those 4 overs are a nightmare for any team. You know, when you're playing
Uh,
those 4 overs are really nightmares. But Rashid Khan, when you go out to bat, and that too with an SG bat, these bats come out so well. You know, they have such sweet point. The entire bat is a sweet point, I think. But and you can hit the ball out of park at will. I've seen that. So how much focus do you put on your batting?
I do focus a lot from the last couple of years, where your team needs a kind of continuity, and where those 20, 25 runs are very crucial when you finish up the innings well. And definitely when you have, when you're going for a war, you need to have a good weapons. And that is something, bat is a kind of weapon. When I'm going to the bow to bat, I need to have a kind of bat which I have fully trust on it. Like, that if I hit on this bat, it would definitely give me the positive result, and it will hit the boundary. So uh, as I said, like I have those kind of natural skills and talent in my batting department as well. Just need to have that kind of strong belief in myself that as there is written in SG as well, like believe become. If you have that kind of belief in yourself, you will become something. And that's how I have that belief that I can clear the row, I can clear the boundary, and just need to have those good sticks and just to hit them, clear mind, and get some good crucial runs for the team at the end when the team needs. Like.
Which you do quite often, but it's very, very batsman friendly. I mean, the entire game. You know, you see T20, ODI, and I mean, as a spinner, as an all-round, a bowler who can bat. Do you advocate of in having bigger boundaries in international cricket or franchisee cricket? How do you see that? Should we
I
have
think
bigger boundaries?
boundary. Uh, it always depends on the wicket mostly. And I think the good wicket for the bowlers, the smaller boundaries, then it's a good competition. When there's a flat wicket, I think bigger boundary, good competition, because batsman needs to clear that big boundary. When the wicket is good for bowlers, batsman needs to have small boundaries, and they can just need to be hit it properly and don't think about the long boundaries. But as a player, as an international player, and someone who played all around the world, as I said before, I always take that out of my mind. Either that's a big boundary, small boundary, good wicket, bad wicket. Still, I have to play good cricket. Sometimes, a bigger boundary, you give more runs than a smaller boundary, because the kind of mindset you have, it's always automatically changes, and never believe on that, okay, it's a big boundary, no one can hit me for six. You still give runs, sometimes in a small boundary, small ground, you give less runs, and you just give take more wickets, and that's how things happen. So I never had those things in my mind, and I think it's just to be bringing your own skills rather than bringing the ground and the wicket into play.
And before we let you go, Rashid Khan the bowler, we know what sort of magic you perform. I mean, you wield inside the cricket field. But Rashid Khan off the field, how is he as a person? Is he boring? Is he someone who's very serious, doesn't smile? Is he listening to music? Is he dancing? Is he going after good food? Is he someone who loves his ice cream? Who loves a
Uh,
conversation? I know your Afghan teammates are absolutely crazy about sitting together and having fun and having food, and they're
yeah,
lovely people.
I love being around the team, being around the guys, having fun around, and that is something which makes me mentally very relaxed and fresh as well. As long you have that kind of mindset, it's not just about being serious outside of the ground, and it affects your inside performance, because what you do outside is very important than what you do inside. And then I always keep myself busy with the team, with the guys, having fun, having different foods every time, and as long you have those kind of activities in the mind, it makes it easier. So yeah, I'm quite kind of a chill person, smiling, having fun around the team. And yeah, I do listen to the musics as well. I love listening to the music, Indian musics, and
Who is your favorite singer?
so many favorite singers in India. I just love the songs. And that's something which I go with on a lot to the songs, which doesn't matter whoever sings it, but once that you feel the songs, that is something you love the most. And yeah, so these are the kind of activities I get myself busy in that, and I do that quite often. That's the kind of routine I have.
And Rashid, you really make us proud when you take the field. Off the field, also, you're such a bold person. And as you rightly pointed out, what you do off the field will reflect on the field. You are such an example. And really, I mean, we're really fortunate to have a athlete like you in world of cricket. Keep scoring, keep getting lots of
Okay.
wickets, because I know you have a lot to offer to world cricket, and there is no two ways about it. And you'll continue to do that. Stay fit and keep smiling.
Thank you so much for all the
Thank you
sweet
so much. It
words,
was a
lots of
pleasure
love,
talking to
and
you.
so yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. Take
Yeah.
care.